So, anyway, this at this point in our lives, fuck around and find out, and the twin are living together along with another fellow, Marshmallow, and he'll probably come up in future stories, but he doesn't really play much of a role in this one aside from kind of being there. So, the other thing that's going on, to set some background here, is the twin and I are working quite closely together. At this point, we both have regular jobs, but on top of that, the twin is selling lots of weed at the time, and this is before coke and all the craziness that came along with it. It was a lighter time in our lives. Personally, I'm making most of my side money by selling hot items, power tools, car stereos, house stereos, that type of thing. I was never much for stealing it, but I was always really good at selling it. So that's what was going on at the time, and we would work together quite a bit. So the twin would buy something with weed, and then I would sell it for cash, and of course, the difference in price allows for some extra money to be made in there or whatever. So that's kind of what we're doing for money at the time. So one day after work, I'm sitting over at their house, the twin and fuck around and find outs, and twin walks in, and he's got one of these old satchels, like a laptop kind of bag. It would have been the equivalent of back then. Laptops were pretty few and far in between, so but it was like a leather business satchel or whatever the hell you want to call this thing. And he walks in, he says, "Check this out," and he opens up this bag. And I look inside, and this little face, it's a monkey. It's got its teeth bared, and it screams at me. Well, holy shit. It's like, hey, so he closes the bag real quick, and says, "What the hell is that?" He says, "Well, it's a monkey." I said, "What the hell are you doing with it?" He says, "Well, I bought it." Well, I guess he bought this thing for however much weed he paid for the goddamn thing. So now he's telling me that I got to sell the monkey, because that's... Well, it is. It's just kind of what my thing is, right? And who the hell am I going to sell a monkey to? And I don't know. It's kind of your problem, he says. Hey, well, let's look at it again. And you open the bag, and well, of course, we're a bunch of young guys kicking around this house, and we're all smoking tons of weed back then. And every time somebody come over to the house, and there was a lot of traffic, every time somebody walked in, well, the twin would have to show him this goddamn monkey. And every single time he opened the bag, this fucking thing would scream. It was just the craziest thing. So we, the inevitable happens. You got a bunch of stoners with a monkey in a bag. Eventually, you all know what's going to happen. The monkey gets out. Well, shit. Now we've got this, rabid, pissed off ninja monkey bouncing around the house at 100 miles an hour. We're all trying to catch him. But how do you catch a pissed off rabid monkey, right? Well, so you grab a blanket and, you get over to him. But as soon as you get close, this thing scream at you, and it fucking bounce off somewhere else in the house, It's on the fridge, it's on the curtain rods, it's behind the couch, it's all over the map, eh? And there's just no catching this thing, mainly because we're stoned and terrified of the thing, right? But so anyway, this continues all night, and I do mean literally all night until the morning when we had to go to work. And we're all working at the same company at the time, and I'm a crew supervisor or whatever, so I'm kind of responsible for what's going on. But fucking around and find out he's going to stay home with the monkey, because somebody has to. The thing is still loose, and we can't just leave the thing running around the house on its own. So, I mean, he's probably just being lazy and looking for an excuse to stay home, but whatever. Somebody was going to have to do it, so he did. And I was not expecting, when I walked into work, for the dispatcher to look at me and say, "A fucking monkey?" Well, I guess, and maybe, I think what happened, if I remember right, was fuck around and find out had decided to call in and be honest, right? Like, this isn't the day, this is the one time that it would have been okay to lie, right? And I imagine dispatch would have been happy to hear a lie at that point, because he was having an awful hard time wrapping his mind around us, having a loose monkey in the house. So, in any event, yeah, there's a monkey loose. I wasn't going to start lying now, right? We've gone that far into it, So we're down a guy today, and it looks like, my crew is going out short. So that's kind of how that played out. But at the end of the day, we did find a buyer, and we made good money on the damn monkey, but I do not remember, not for the life of me, who bought it. And I've been trying for more than 20 years to remember, and I just... Thanks for listening to my story, guys. For more like it, come to the Dopey Canuck podcast. That's at dopeycanuck.com or dopeycanuck.ca.